Welcome to Twisted Ignition. I'm here in the shop again with Rick, and we are putting in the seat.
If you guys didn't check out the last video, we got the interior painted, the roll bar all painted and wrapped up, and now it's time for the seat. Well, we're actually skipping a part. The carpet's got to go in, but first we got to put the seat in because we got to make a mount for the shifter. Hey, I just realized somebody's got to go underneath.
In order to mount these seats real quick, we have 4 bolts, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. This is a plate that we made. It's literally just a plate with nuts welded on it to the backside. Go and get screwed in from the bottom. Are you ready?
No.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors says shoot. Oh my God! All right, guess I'm going underneath. This is not a good start to 2026.
Yes! So, with him being the lustrous sized man he is, we can't get him underneath with the creeper, so cardboard it is.
Cleaner than the floor. Let me take my plate and be gone.
I'm gonna set you guys down so we could get everything organized, and we will show you in a second. I'm gonna put my nuts right in your hand. They're in your hand. We got the seat, yeah, that thing, we got it in.
The reason we put the seat in is so we can mount the shifter in a comfortable position, and I'm actually going to put a center seat in here, so it's got to be out of the way of the passenger who's going to sit in the middle. Yes, we are putting a middle seat in.
All right, since we haven't shown you guys the shifter that's going into the C10,
What are you doing?
getting our table ready.
Oh.
We got B&M.
This is a B&M Magnum Grip ratcheting shifter with go-go buttons. One of these will be a trans brake. I think the other one I might make a line lock kit, not sure yet. Or, you know, future calls for a little NOS. This bad boy is gonna get mounted right about here somewhere. The guy in the center will have lots of room. The guy in the center is gonna be my son. And we'll go broom broom.
We're gonna get some measurements going up to the shifter, and we'll figure out exactly the design that we want for the bracket for the shifter. For a closer look at our shifter and the shift pattern that this shifter has, we might actually have to reverse a couple of things on this. But as it's set up for right now, we have our park position. Pull your lever back. That's your reverse. You pull all the way back, that's your first. Bump it forward, second. Pull your handle down, bring it in. That's your third, and your neutral. And then your safety lock for your reverse.
So we're just gonna cut this thing straight off, put a plate at the bottom to bolt it to the floor, put a plate at the top to mount the shifter, literally just a straight piece of pipe.
And sorry for the heater going. It is currently what?
I don't even want to be outside. I don't even want to think about it.
It's currently 7 degrees.
7 degrees outside.
7 degrees out.
And a toast seat. No wonder the thing hasn't shut off.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, we drew out our bottom bracket that's going to bolt down to the floor. We've got 4 holes we need to drill for bolts. Nate is just going to cut out with the grinder the rest of that bracket.
Clean it up real quick.
We're gonna make this fancy. We don't want bolt holes sticking through the floor like that. So we're gonna cut these off and weld studs. So all we gotta do is put nuts through the floor.
Just a few seconds later, and we got the heads actually chopped off of these bolts. So we're gonna sit them flush, but they're gonna stick through there, just like that. A few little weldies later, and we got our bracket. I'm gonna clean up all this up, but we're gonna have the tube on this side, and this is gonna be perfectly flat. And then this side is where we have our bolts. So they'll go down through the floor, get bolted from the bottom up, have our tube with our shifter right on top. Just like that. We got a nice flat surface. You can kind of tell where the welds are at, but for the most part, once this is painted up, you'll never tell. Anyways, let's go see what Rick's doing. Rick over here has this lovely plate lined out for the shifter.
I got the plate cut for the shifter. I've just put some bolts, started them on here. This is gonna be the top plate that holds the shifter. Then I got this pipe ready. This pipe is going to get welded, something like that. And this pipe is gonna go onto his little mount there. And voila, little shifter mount.
I don't know why the fuck I was doing like a cheesy ass smirk behind the camera like they could.
Because you couldn't see it?
I get very giddy when things go from ideas and rudimentary materials to an actual product. Anyways, let's get welding. The moment of somewhat truth. Here is the mount. And there is the shifter. Ooh la la. So sick. That's great looking. By the way, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, because we do this shit all the fucking time. And you really should, you know, just subscribe because it's free for you, helps us out, we love it, and keeps us motivation high so we can keep doing stuff like this. Also, on a side note, if you guys want to go and see stuff in real time on projects and stuff that we're doing on our projects, check out our Instagram. We slightly marked right where it needs to be. I'm gonna drill the holes and then bolt them in. And voila, right in. Now that just needs to get bolted in so we can get a good idea of the angle we need to cut this top part, because the shifter is not gonna be completely flat. It's gonna be slightly tilted forward.
If you mount it flat, it would be sticking way down here. That'd be way back. So we're gonna mount it just a hair forward.
Hopefully, that is the angle we need in the direction we need. Kind
A
of.
little bit, but I'm just gonna set it with the grinder. I think it'll be all right.
Yeah.
We made this, but when this was on the floor, because we made this plate so small, the stock floorboard would allow this to move a bunch. So in order to stiffen it up, we're gonna put this down, and this spreads out this weight distribution. So when we're shifting, it's pushing down on much more area, and hopefully it'll keep that floor from rocking. If not, we will have to reinforce it even more because this can't move a lot when I'm trying to shift through the gears. So just like we did here, I'm going to put bolts through here with no heads on them because this is going to be under the carpet and then this will sit on top of the carpet. So all you're going to see is a small plate on top. They are all painted, ready to go in, but first we have to drill holes in the floor for that plate. I like to consider that my assault punch.
Your assault punch?
Yeah, because it's an automatic.
Oh my god. Dad joke of the year.
Yeah. You're supposed to be in the car yet. I was bringing this to you.
Oh wait.
Are you still in here? Oh,
Dude, where were you? I was waiting forever.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Yeah, so this is what happens when somebody doesn't mark the holes in the right location.
First try! Hey! See? We actually know what we're doing. No, this is all done in first try, so anything that you've seen beforehand it's not true. That plate is all bolted in. Now we gotta take the seat back out so we can put the carpet in. By the way, for those who are watching at home, you have a buddy of yours that sits there and says, hey look, I got this cool, like, old truck. I wanna turn it into a Pro Street truck. You mind giving me a hand? Tell him no. Tell him no, you got it. Give him the confidence to do it by himself. Oh, there we go. Now that the seat's out, we are going to vacuum up real quick and clean up the floor, making sure that's nice and pristine before you lay down our carpet. And you guys get to see a little bit of an unboxing to see that fancy carpet. I dropped that. I meant to do that.
We are finally ready to put this carpet in. This came from Jegs. It is Auto Customs carpet. I haven't used them personally, but we're gonna see how good their product is. It's supposed to be a molded carpet for a
1981 to 1986 Chevy C10 regular cab.
Make sure you get the column shift because the stick shift, the tunnel is different. We are gonna have to let this sit with heat on it for a long time. Looks like carpet.
So this happens every so often when you're working on a project and you get so close because you can see the light at the end of the tunnel and you're like, yes, I know I can, I know I can, I know I can. And you're like, yeah, I can see it being done. And you put a carpet in and you're like, okay, you know what? Carpet looks pretty freaking good. Looks solid. And then you come to the realization, like, now you have your chairs, and we have chairs, and you're like, I only have 2 chairs. I need 3 chairs. I only have 2. Because we got to design a 3rd chair to go in between 2 racing buckets, which means you got to remove the carpet that you just put in.
To make brackets for the center seat that we didn't build. 5 steps forward, 2 steps back.
Anyways, let's pull the carpet back out. It does look very nice. We do have some things that we got to do and address, but we'll address them when we get to that point officially. For now, we'll rip it back out, put the 2 seats in, aka the seat that I just had in here, and then figure out what we're going to do for the center seat.
While the carpet is out of the vehicle yet, we are going to seam seal around the roll bar. Because as you see there, we didn't weld the roll bar to the floor. This is a full-bodied car, and the roll bar is welded straight to the frame, which means that this body still has body mounts and can flex a little bit. If you weld the floor to the roll bar and to the frame, eventually it will crack and it will start squeaking, making noise.
With all the seam seal done on the roll bars on the floor, we are now going to go and tackle that 3rd seat we mentioned.
So this is an old seat that when I was in high school I had built for the center, and as you can see, it's just some shelving brackets and old cushions and whatnot. These pads are still good. We're gonna recover these pads nicer than what they're covered. We're gonna build a framework out of actual angle iron, and we're gonna stick it between those 2 seats and hopefully have the roll bar right behind the seat. Nobody's ever gonna sit in the seat except for I have a young son who occasionally will wanna be with me and the wife or me and a buddy, and this is where he's gonna sit.
Do have, without going through a whole mumbo jumbo of what's actually in that head and my head, because those are dangerous places to be for people that aren't us.
He's right.
We have an idea on how we're gonna be making this bracket, so we're not gonna really explain how we're making the bracket. We're just gonna kind of just show you. So, this is 100% a disclaimer because we're about to do dumb stuff really dumbly. So, let me explain. We have our bracket. Rick is so kindly modeling. Ooh, ah, yes. All right, I'm spent. Anyways, this is bed framing.
Yes, actual leftover bed framing. But if you know anything about bed framing, it is actually hardened.
This is us literally drilling for about 45 minutes and we just scratched the surface of it. So in order to drill through it, we're going to heat it up with the acetylene until it's super red hot, then run over here to the drill press so we could finally drill it through. If you can't tell, we've already had issues, but this is the easiest process to actually get a hole.
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
Well, I'm ready when you are.
Go.
Hurry up.
Got it. There you go. All right.
And just so you do know, you are probably going to sacrifice a drill bit to do this, but it works. Now for the other side.
Well, first time we did it, had a lot of flames.
Yeah.
This time it was just smoke.
Wasn't as climatic this time.
No.
We'll put you guys back over there in case the next one catches fire.
Ready? Oh.
Now he's just beating it flat because when you heat it up, it does warp it a little bit when you're drilling on wood. So now all we're gonna do is clean out the hole.
We dry fit the bracket that we made for the seat, and if you could tell, that is where the plyboard goes with the seat.
And it pretty much matches the angle of our driver's seat and passenger seat. We're gonna cut the corners off a little bit, but now we gotta find the angle of the back. We have this cool angle finder. You put it on there, and I'm supposed to be facing the other way so I can actually see what I was doing. This, put right about there, is our angle.
And that says 107.6 degrees out of 360 degrees.
So all we gotta do is make the back at that angle.
We came across another issue. Just like earlier, we were super excited to get the carpet in, and then we were like, yeah, we're gonna make a custom seat in between these two seats. And if you can't tell with that missing and that placed there, we didn't measure from seat to seat. So that whole thing is gonna have to get and then boop, and then zzz. We're gonna have to shrink
This
it.
is the face of loss, of despair, of how stupid were we just set the seats in there, not bolt them down, and not measure this. But you guys get to see it all, even when we screw up, because we're not going to edit it out and just pretend like it didn't happen, because that's what every other channel would do. No, you get to see us suffer.
We're gonna just fix it real quick, and then we're gonna come back.
He said real quick. This guy said quick. Well, for you guys it will be.
Yeah, so shut up.
Well, for us, not so much.
And then we're gonna be back with you guys in a split second.
I'm gonna cry for a while.
And once the correction's made, we will show it fitted in, and then we'll kind of explain what we did to go.
Despair.
I'm gonna have to go consult him. He's getting emotional.
I'm emotional.
Very emotional. We actually shortened up the bracket widthwise, and we got our backrest on. And we have angled everything, so there it fits. Now we just gotta go and get the plyboard and the seat covers reupholstered, put it on here and screw everything down, mark where it's going, and bolt it down, and we got our center seat done.
If you guys like the C10 and what we're doing with it, and you want to keep up with what we're doing, please subscribe. We are going to continue from here on out, next couple of videos at least, to just work on this truck. It's got to make it to Outer Banks. So if you want to see the rest of this interior, please stay with us.
Just for you guys, check us out on Instagram so you can see up-to-date current pictures of the progress being on the C10.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next shenanigans. Later.
Later, guys.